Hi everyone, this is Dave and welcome to a new video on the Geekanoids channel. In today's video I've got a review of the larger of two of these Sony Xperia smartphones I've been testing over the past week. If you saw my video earlier today, I gave you my review, my opinion about the Sony Xperia 10. This is the Sony Xperia 10 Plus. I'm going to give you my full review, my opinion, talk to you about the camera, the battery life, and also the build quality, and the official case as well, which I've currently got on the smartphone. Now, before I do so, I do just want to let you know that this video is sponsored by Editor's Keys. Now, I have in fact used Editor's Keys products for many years, and they make a range of backlit shortcut keyboards and also overlays that you can use with your laptop keyboard that explain all the shortcuts for the main editing programs, things like Final Cut Pro, Adobe Premiere Pro, and it just makes your editing so much quicker. If you want to check out Editor's Keys for yourself, then please do check out the links down in the video description. So on with the review. This is the Sony Xperia 10 Plus. In comparison to the Xperia 10, this has got a larger 6.5 inch screen and a slightly beefier battery. The resolution actually remains the same. It's just sort of expanded out to fill up the screen, for want of a better terminology. And I think that that actually has a knock-on effect, gives this very slightly better battery life. I've been really pleased with the battery life on the Xperia 10 Plus, and it will easily last you a day, day and a half between charges. I think if you're a low to medium user, you might even get 2 days between charges from this smartphone. Now, I want to show you the case a little bit before I go back to showing you the smartphone. When I first did the unboxing, I thought this case didn't have any smart features. In fact, it does actually sleep the phone. So when you close the cover and then open it up, it does go back to the lock screen, which I think is really nice. I didn't know it did that when I did the unboxing and first look, but alas, it does. Let me just remove the smartphone from the case though, because this review is all about the actual smartphone. Now, it does have a fingerprint sensor on the side, and that just falls under where your thumb is. There's a misconception from some reviews that you have to push the power button first to wake the phone up. But in fact, if that's sleeping and I just put my thumb on the fingerprint sensor, it does in fact wake up pretty quickly. So that's really good. It's not much quicker than the Xperia 10, just a tiny bit quicker than the smaller version of this. Now, with regards to the battery, I've already talked to you about the battery being slightly larger capacity in this, a little bit better battery life. The actual performance, this has got a faster processor in as well. It's got a Snapdragon 636 processor inside. And one of my sort of negatives with the smaller Xperia 10 was it was a little bit slow at reacting sometimes. This is a lot quicker. The OS is still very responsive when going between screens, when launching apps, closing apps. You can even do split screen apps on this as well. The example I gave you in my previous video was with a photo, so let's just get a photo up. Now, it shoots sort of these ultra wide photos, and if I turn it around into landscape, these flick round. This, believe it or not, even though there is still a little delay, is a lot quicker at turning around and transitioning between landscape and portrait than the smaller Xperia 10. So this definitely feels a lot snappier, a lot more responsive, and thus giving me a nicer user experience. So I'm really pleased with that. I'll talk to you about the camera actually on this. This was one of the surprises. This has got 2 cameras on the back, like the smaller version. The smaller version are 13 megapixels and 5 megapixels. These on here are 12 megapixels and 8 megapixels. They do a really good job of capturing photos. The colours are really nice. Very good tonal range on it. And what I like about the photos, let me show you one of the photos I captured the other day. I think it was, yeah, this one here. What I like about the photos are that they are not oversaturated. This was actually a very colourful scene that I captured here, and that sky was that vivid blue. but yet it's still a very natural looking photo. Some smartphones, I find they actually just oversaturate, make things look too punchy. This works extremely well and really does look like the scene that I captured. And that carries through into video as well. If I just get a video up on the screen. Here we've got a video playing back, and you can see it was a really windy day when I was capturing this video. But again, the colours, very, very natural. It just does a really good job of capturing images and videos. And they're all in this 21:9 sort of aspect ratio, a very tall phone. And I like that aspect ratio, especially when you're watching back a video. It looks very cinematic. So we've got really good photos, 4K video up to 30 frames per second, and in that 21:9 aspect ratio. This is a really good choice, and it's not that expensive. It comes in at around about £349 in the UK, and that's SIM-free unlocked. If you wanted to get it on a contract and pay monthly, then you'd get a really good deal. I think Sony have done a very good job at bringing this in at this price point. Now, I also want to talk to you about the actual fit and finish and the build quality and the screen quality as well. It's an IPS display, off axis. It really does hold its colours well. It's nice and sharp, really good resolution. You don't have to worry too much about it being too tall. To get to the notification bar, you can actually swipe down anywhere on the screen. You don't have to swipe down from the top. You can also shrink the screen down if you want, just to this bottom corner, to make things easier to reach. But for the most part, I found it absolutely fine. And that fingerprint sensor actually resides in a really convenient place on the side there. The fit and finish, very good. I did mention this, and for the reason of not wanting to repeat myself, I do have to mention this again. Apart from the fit and finish being really good, and I really like this sort of navy blue colour, the same complaint with this one as with the smaller version, and that is these buttons on the side. We've got the main power button and then the volume rocker. They're just too close to the case. They don't protrude enough. I know it gives it a really nice feel on the side of the phone, but it just needs to come up another ½ mm and maybe some texture on here and maybe a little bit of shape to the volume rocker, just so there's maybe an indent here so you can tell which is volume up and which is volume down. The fingerprint sensor's fine, that's slightly indented in the side, so that's easy to find. But these volume rocker and the power button just needed to be done a little bit better. There's also a cover on the side here. When you take this off, you can actually gain access to the SIM card tray and also the memory card slot. It pulls everything out. I had this mistake when I did the unboxing. You undo it, take out the cover, it pulls out the whole sort of the holder as well. So do bear that in mind, be very careful with that. One thing I do appreciate is we've still got the 3.5mm audio jack, no wireless charging, but we have got fast charging via USB-C. If you want to hear how the speakers perform, then you need to look at my unboxing and first look. I'll give you a speaker demonstration. They work really well. They're nice and loud. They do distort a tiny bit at the highest of volumes, but it's not a deal breaker by any means. Just crank it down a notch and it all falls into place. And overall, it is just a very, very nice package. It's a very compelling package because nowadays I see this trend where we've got so many smartphones that are coming in at sort of £700, £800, over £1,000. Do you really need to spend that much? Do you really need to spend over £1,000 on a smartphone when you can get this quality for $349? Okay, it's not a glass back, it's not a metal back, it's made of some sort of plastic, but it's very solid. It's got some sort of volume to it. It feels like a nice, well-made phone. It doesn't feel like empty. There's no sort of flex in here at all. It's all packed out with battery and the technology inside, and it just gives that feel of quality, even though it's plastic. But what you've got to remember is most, not all, not everyone uses a case, but most people put their smartphones in a case. So you're not going to really be feeling or touching the back very often anyway. And I like this matte finish. It doesn't show fingerprints. And the screen really is good. Okay, it doesn't curve around the edges, but when I've seen the screens that curve around the edges, they're nice. They do look superb, especially in photos and videos, but they do also distort the image at the side. So I think this type of screen has got its place and has got its benefits. I think this is a really nice smartphone. So anyway, this is a live broadcast, so before I end this particular video, I do want to address the live chat. Thank you very much for tuning in live to Deepak Murthy, Tech for Your Needs, Rob Maguire, Peter Griffin and David Romero Hermo. Thank you very, very much. I really do appreciate you tuning in live. If you're watching this after the live broadcast, please do check out the links down in the video description where you can pick up one of these for yourself. And also, don't forget to hit that like button. If you enjoyed the video, please do hit that like button. And really, leave me some comments. It's all about the community spirit on Geekanoids. Get the conversation going. Let me know what you think of the Sony Xperia 10. Let me know if you're going to be picking one up, or indeed what your next smartphone is likely to be. Thanks very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you again in another video very soon.